Welcome back to the Tournament of College Athletics Trivia presented by the Scott and Holman Podcast, the second annual edition, and we are back with the second match of our first round. Second match in a row, we've got a returning contestant from last year facing off against a new contestant, so we're excited to get into this. Had a real exciting match in match one. We expect another one of those again today. So contestant one is Collin. He competed here last year. He is the Deputy College Sports Editor for DraftKings Nation, also the host of the Bulluminati Podcast. You may know him as well from thedailystampede.com. Collin, good to be talking to you again.
Hey, Dustin, how are you? Last year, I was leading going into the final round. I blew the College World Series pretty badly. I think I got like one team right and failed miserably. I'm here for redemption.
Yeah, those third rounds can be tough. We had that in our first match as well. Those third rounds can really swing the momentum one way or the other. So we'll see if that plays out again today. But we're also excited to be joined on the Scott Holman Podcast. Our only first-time guest, and that is Dustin. He is the managing editor at Saturday Tradition, covering Big Ten football. Very excited to have another Dustin on the podcast. So Dustin, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for the invitation, and I'm just hoping not to embarrass myself here in front of a live audience, you know.
Yeah, no pressure, but Clayton, who made a deep run to the finals last year and lost in a ridiculously competitive nail-biter in the finals, brought you up with a very high recommendation. So you've got a reputation to live up to, so I hope that you're ready for that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'll get the screen up here. And there we go. So if you haven't watched this before, it's pretty simple. You get 4 categories in the first, each in the first and second round. The third round will be a single category. And throughout the game, every time one of these guys answers a question right, they're going to get a point. Every time they get one wrong, there's no penalty. So they're always encouraged to go ahead and throw something out there, even if it's not right. Maybe it'll at least be funny. But that's how the game's going to go. So pretty simple. Collin has been randomly selected as player 1. So Collin, you're going to get the first choice from our opening round categories, which are That's Our Mascot 2, I'm Not Dead Yet, The Nights You Say Knee, and Tim the Enchanter. So, Collin, where do you want to go?
Well, I'm sort of well known for my, dislike of the Knights down the street from me as a USF fan. So I'll go with The Nights Who Say Knee.
The Nights Who Say Knee. All right. So this category, every correct answer in this category is going to begin with the letters N-I. So that is the N-I in quotation marks. That's what we're looking for here. So here's your first question. The Purple Eagles of this school play their games just a few miles away from the famous falls whose name they share.
What is Niagara?
Niagara University is correct. Niagara Falls. Collin on the board, 1-0 to start us off. Second question, The Nights You Say Knee. This is the only Division I team nickname or mascot name that begins with N-I.
Is that for me?
Yes, it's still for you, Collin. The entire category is yours. Dustin will jump in if you get any wrong.
Gotcha. The only Division I team nickname that begins with Nye is the this one's tough. Do we have a clock here?
We don't have an official time limit, but if you got something in the next few seconds here, we'll give it to you. Otherwise, I'll go give Dustin a shot.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to pass then because I'll give Dustin a little less time.
All right, Dustin, do you have the only Division I team nickname or mascot name that begins with N-I?
That is a tough one. I don't know.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and call this one. It is the Nittany Lions of Penn State.
Yeah.
All right, so it remains 1-0 to Collin. Collin, your final question in The Nights You Say Knee is, Ed Ogeron's Louisiana roots include the year he spent as linebackers coach for the Colonels of this FCS school.
What is Nicholls State?
Nicholls State is correct. Well done, Collin. So you got a 2-0 lead. And then Dustin is going to get control of the board for our next category. Your remaining categories are That's Our Mascot 2, I'm Not Dead Yet, and Tim the Enchanter. Dustin, where do you want to
go? Let's try That's Our Mascot 2.
That's Our Mascot 2. It's an easy category. We're going to give you 3 schools that all have the same mascot. All you have to do is tell us what's their mascot. So here is number 1. You got Yale, Fresno State, and the Citadel.
What are the Bulldogs?
The Bulldogs is correct. Dustin's on the board. Number 2, that's our mascot too. UC Davis, North Carolina A&T, Utah State.
The Aggies.
The Aggies is correct, and we are tied up at 2. Final question, and that's our mascot too. Illinois, High Point, Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
The Panthers.
The Panthers is correct. Well done. Dustin knows his mascots, runs the category, takes a 3-2 lead. Collin, it's back to you. Your remaining categories are I'm Not Dead Yet and Tim the Enchanter.
I'll go with I'm Not Dead Yet.
I'm Not Dead Yet. All right, here's your first clue. This football program went from being terminated and missing 2 seasons to amazingly winning Conference USA in 2018 in just their second year back.
This 2 seasons, an amazing winning Conference USA in 2018. Oh, Alabama Birmingham.
Alabama Birmingham, UAB is correct. And we're tied back up at 3. Second clue, and I'm Not Dead Yet. This football coach survived a 2001 car crash that left him in a coma and went on to set records with guys like Timmy Chang and Colt Brennan leading the way.
June Jones?
June Jones is correct. Well done. Collin jumps out to the 4-3 lead. Last clue, and I'm Not Dead Yet. In 2010, this school announced that it was canceling 5 sports, including baseball, only to see a massive fundraising effort reverse that decision and the baseball program make a run to Omaha the next year.
2011 College World Series. I will go with Northwestern.
Northwestern is incorrect. Dustin, do you have a guess here?
I'm just going to throw out a random school here, Long Beach State.
Long Beach State, you're in the correct state. You got to go a little bit farther north. It was Cal Berkeley. A bunch of Cal baseball alumni, including Jeff Kent, I believe, helped raise a bunch of money to keep that program alive. All right, so 4-3 is Collin's lead, but Dustin has control of the final category in our first round, and that is Tim the Enchanter. Here's your first clue, Dustin. Before enchanting Spurs fans for 2 decades, Tim Duncan won the John Wooden Award while at this ACC school.
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest is correct, and we are tied back up at 4. All right, second clue in Tim the Enchanter. The Cleveland Browns were so enchanted by this Tim's production at Kentucky that they took him first overall in the 1999 NFL Draft.
Oh, boy. I don't even think I have a guess for this one.
All right, Collin, do you have a guess?
Yeah, it's Tim Couch.
Tim Couch is correct. All right, so Collin takes the 5-4 lead. Last clue in the first round, Tim the Enchanter. For Dustin, this Tim was enchanted by the NCAA adopting the 3-point line between his sophomore and junior seasons at LaSalle. He made 161 triples as an upperclassman and went on to a journeyman NBA career that included a win in the 2006 3-point shootout.
Oh, I'm going to hit my... I'm going to hate myself when I hear the answer to this. Tim Legler?
Tim Legler is correct. Got it.
There you go.
Nice ball.
Nice ball.
So very good. So we are tied up 5-5 as we head into the second round. As always, the second round will be hosted by my co-host Sam here. So Sam, if you want to go ahead and introduce our second round categories.
Yeah, guys, here we have Home Sweet Hoops, Spot the Fake Bowl Game, Junior College Alumni, and From the Playing Field to the Set.
Dustin, you're a player too, so you have control of the board in the second round.
Let's go with Spot the Fake Bowl Game.
My pride and joy here, I'm going to give you 3 bowl games. You are going to spot the fake one.
This is first one we have, not necessarily current bowl games.
Yeah, obviously not necessarily current. Some of these a little more obscure than others. So we have here the Disney Bowl, the Beef O'Brady's Bowl, and the Red Box Bowl. Which one of these is the fake bowl game, Dustin?
The Disney Bowl.
Disney Bowl is correct. The Bacardi Bowl, the Fruit Bowl, the Soybean Bowl.
The Bacardi Bowl.
The Bacardi Bowl was a real bowl.
Oh.
Collin?
Yeah, so I knew the Bacardi Bowl because it was actually in Havana.
Yep.
So I am stuck between the other two, and I'm going to say the Soybean Bowl was the fake one.
Soybean Bowl is the fake one. You are correct. The Burley Bowl, the Beef Empire Bowl, the Gold Bowl.
Oh boy. The Beef Empire Bowl?
The Beef Empire Bowl is a real bowl between community colleges in Kansas. Collin?
I'm going to go with the Burley Bowl.
The Burley Bowl is also a real bowl. The Gold Bowl was the fake one there. Love this category. Just an absolute delight every time.
All right, so Collin, back to you. You've got remaining control of the 3 remaining categories.
I will go with Home Sweet Hoops.
All right. The Syracuse Orange have played all their home basketball games since 1980 at this massive venue, easily the largest in Division I.
Carrier Dome.
Carrier Dome is correct. John Wooden won 9 of his 10 national championships at UCLA while playing home games at this iconic venue, which opened in 1965.
Pauley Pavilion.
Pauley Pavilion is correct. For the last 45 years, the Idaho Vandals have played their home basketball games, not to mention football, tennis, track, and soccer, at this multi-purpose venue with a funny name.
The Kibbe Dome.
The iconic Kibbe Dome is correct. You swept that category, Collin. You clearly know your hoops venues. Dustin, take a pick here from junior college alumni or from the playing field of the set.
Oh boy. Let's try from the playing field to the set.
All right, this is a category about actors who were college athletes at one point in their life. First one here, he's best known for a starring role on Old Spice commercials and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but this actor also won the 1988 MAC championship with Western Michigan and was taken in the 1991 NFL Draft.
Don't even watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I have no idea.
All right, Collin, you have a guess?
Is it Terry Crews?
It is one-time office linebacker Terry Crews as the correct answer here. All right. At one time, America's most popular pretend news show host, he played soccer at William & Mary from 1980 to 1983.
Pretend news. I only have one guess. It would be Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart is correct. I believe he was John Goldberg back in those days and actually played.
John Leibovitz.
John Leibovitz, that's what it is. Long name. All right, last one here. Before starring in the film Moonlight and season 3 of the HBO series True Detective, he played 97 games for St. Mary's basketball team from 1992 to 1996.
Well, I need to watch more television. I don't have a guess.
Collin?
I didn't see season 3. Is it Dennis Haysbert?
Is not Dennis Haysbert. Is Mahershala Ali.
I believe won the Oscar for Moonlight.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't see Moonlight.
All right.
So I'm going to go with junior college alumni.
Good pick.
Good pick. All right. This wide receiver was offered by Miami out of high school in 1991, but due to poor grades, started his college career at hometown West Los Angeles College. Things turned out okay as he went on to become a star at USC, a 3-time Pro Bowler, and an ESPN analyst.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Keyshawn Johnson is correct. Currently one of the NFL's top running backs, he took a 1-year detour to Hutchinson Community College in 2014, in between his freshman season at Alabama and upperclassmen seasons at Tennessee.
Oh, boy. Started at Bama, finished at Tennessee. Name a running back from Tennessee. I should know this. I'm freezing here. Pass.
Dustin?
Yeah, I should know this one too. Nah, I don't know.
Alvin Kamara. We got no love for Alvin Kamara. In the Bucks division, Collin. Come on.
I'm an Eagles fan.
True. All right. Before he was known by the nickname Prunk and mashed 213 homers for the Indians, Rangers, and Yankees, he was MVP of the 1997 Junior College World Series.
Travis Hafner?
Travis Hafner is correct.
All right, so Collin with the 12-7 lead as we head into the third round. So not an impossible to come back from lead. As Collin knows, the third round can be kind of funny. So as always, our third round is a single category. Our single category today is the 14 schools currently in P5 conferences that have the fewest NFL draft picks since the year 2000. So you guys are going to alternate. Dustin will give one answer, then Collin. Dustin, Collin. As long as you keep giving correct answers, you get to stay in, keep accumulating points. As soon as you get one wrong, the other guy, you're out. The other guy can keep going as long as he wants. So as Collin knows, the third round can be a little tricky. And since Dustin is trailing, we are going to give him first guess. So Dustin, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a school that you believe is among the 14 schools in P5 conferences with the fewest NFL draft picks since the year 2000.
My first guess would be Iowa State.
As the offspring of Iowa State alumni, it hurts me that is everyone's first guess, but that is a correct answer, so I can't fault you for that. Iowa State, number 2 with the fewest, second fewest with 17. So point for Dustin, and Collin, it is to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Northwestern.
Northwestern is correct. If I can figure out how to make this work. They're there. They're number 5 with 26. They're 5th fewest on the list. So point for Collin. Dustin, back to you.
Indiana.
Indiana is also correct. They are right above Northwestern on the list there with 23. Collin.
Speaking of bad Big Ten schools, I'll go with Rutgers.
Rutgers is also correct. They are, where are they? Tied for 8th with 32.
Wow.
So put a little respect on Rutgers. They actually had some good teams earlier in the century, so they got a few guys in the league back then.
I'm going to say maybe a 4th straight Big Ten school, Illinois.
Illinois is incorrect, unfortunately. They got enough to get out of that list. So that is going to be the game for Collin. So well done. The third round doesn't come back to bite you this time around. But you guys missed the number 1, and number 1 is by far, like as Iowa State, I make fun of them for being second, but Duke has 7.
They were my next guess.
7. The rest of our list here, we've got Kansas was 3rd.
I'm surprised Kansas wasn't higher.
Followed by
Kansas, yeah.
Vanderbilt, Washington State, Kentucky, Texas Tech. That one surprised me. I guess that the whole Tech offense not translating to the pros is real. Followed by Wake Forest, Oklahoma State, another one that surprised me, Minnesota, and Arizona to round out our list. So, Dustin, thanks again for joining us. You did well. It was an exciting match in your first time, but Collin, congratulations as you advance out of the first round.
Thanks, guys. I was going to say Duke next, but then after that I was going Oregon State, so I would have missed the one after that.
Oregon State, when I was putting together the list, I was like my second or third guess, and I was like, oh, man, that might trip someone up. But, it didn't happen this time. But, yeah, Dustin, thanks again for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again. And as we mentioned in the previous episode, we are going to make a $20 donation to the charity of choice of everyone who is competing in this year's tournament. The winner is going to get a bonus $200 donation as well. So thanks to these guys for not only joining us for some fun trivia, but also helping us raise some money for some good causes. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon for another episode of Podcast Trivia.